So welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday. And as I was just saying, there's interesting energy right now, I feel like, in post-solstice, right? So happy solstice also, those of you I haven't seen. That, it's said that with energy shifting is there's the newness of things, right? And not always being prepared for what's coming at you. And being in the space of not being prepared, right? Not knowing exactly how to react or respond is part of what we're asked to do as yogis all the time, is to live in that state of uncertainty and be okay with it. And I just had an interesting conversation with someone who was talking to me about their daughter, who is, grown adult with her own children. So this woman's granddaughter is 11, and her mother is concerned because she's really trying to maintain the idea of Santa Claus for her 11-year-old daughter, which is sweet, so sweet. And at the same time, it made me really go to a place where this is what I wanted to talk about anyway today, but what do you still believe in, right? What is it that still really lights up your heart, even though maybe it doesn't show up obviously out in the world? Is what do you still really believe in, right? Because what gets tired in us is that consistent belief in what is good, or that consistent belief in what could be, but isn't present yet, that consistent belief in what isn't here yet, right? So it's that same state of uncertainty where we're not sure what's coming next or how to deal with it, or if we'll be able to deal with it, right? There's that level of it where we can be afraid of what's coming and we're not ready. Or there can be this feeling of, I don't know what's coming, and that excites me because I really believe that there's good that's coming. I really believe that there's still faith, that there's still hope, that there's still everything that lights us up, that there's still that concept that there's something magical about life. And it's magical because we are not in charge of it, right? It's magical because it's coming and we don't know how it's going to arrive or how it's going to show up. And we don't know if we're going to be ready. That's the best thing, is you don't have to be ready. So practicing being in that state of uncertainty, the Buddhists call it being on shaky ground, but it's really that. It's being in uncertainty, not in a scary way, but being uncertain of, I don't know if I'm ready, and that's great to not be ready. It's great to not be so sure that I know who I'm supposed to be or what I'm supposed to be that hasn't happened yet, right? So being in that really open, accepting, receptive place that's what we're asked to practice. So I'd like for you to let your eyes close for a moment. And just contemplate what you really believe in. And what you believe in that lights you up, not beliefs that are things that you are responsible for, that you have to maintain for some sort of standing in your life, but what lights you up that you believe in. We draw the mind to those things in us. Living energies that are not yet in form. And I think the greatest joke is that all of us were told that we are already enlightened. We just haven't noticed. And we haven't noticed because there's some part of us that says, I'm not ready yet. I'm not prepared to be that yet. I still really think that the way that I've been doing things is important. And it is. But if you really believe in the wholeness of yourself and you bring your mind to that, you really believe in it, you can really be okay with being unprepared. I don't know if I can handle this life. You can't, it's too big. You handle it through your mind, it's not going to work. But can you live through this life as a whole being? Absolutely. It's what you were born to do. So the feeling of belief, of actually opening wide to, surrendering to the not knowing. It's what makes things magical instead of just hard. So One more deep breath into that space, whatever it looks like, even if it looks like nothing right now. And then bring the hands together in front of the heart center, palm to palm. And I don't often say this, right? Sometimes we say set an intention for your practice. Don't set an intention for your practice, but make a wish for yourself. Make a wish for yourself. This is really what I want my energy to start to pull into my life, to pull into a reality that is tangible. So it's not just unseen out there in the future, but it's right here. So you dedicate your practice to the wish that you make. We'll open with the sound of Om, deep breath in. Let the eyes float open. Nice, you guys. You can release your hands from in front of your heart center and then bring yourself forward onto hands and knees. Good. Do a little cat and cow just to warm up your spine. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and then breathe the length of your spine, inhaling, lengthening through the belly, through the back, exhaling, curling and rounding. Good. Yeah. A place where believing is not a formed thing, where beliefs don't hold us back, but where just the act of believing lights you up inside. Good. And then uncertainty is that open place where it's okay to be unprepared, to not be ready, and to step into whatever is in front of you anyway, knowing that it's very possible that you will do it in a way that feels like failure or disappointing. Can you love what you do instead of being sad about what didn't happen? Oh, that sounds like it should be simple, and it's not. It's not automatic. Good. Come back to stillness, please. Nice. Spread the fingers wide, tuck your toes, lift your hips, come back to downward facing dog. Good. And step the right foot forward between the hands, lunge. Good. Inhale the arms up to the sky, high lunge. Beautiful. Stretch your arms out wide to letter T. And then twist to your right, turning towards the front thigh. So left arm's going to extend forward. Good. Nice. Squeeze your feet towards each other. So you've got that stability in your lunge. And Molly, move your knee a little wider to the right. Front knee, a little wider to the right, a little wider to the right. There you go. Good. Now lean forward, you guys, reaching through the left side ribs, like you're going to come parallel to the floor. So reach, 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 reach. Good. Stay in the lunge, but reach forward. Good. Hover. Yeah, I know. Yeah, get super long. Good. Nice, Laura. Nice, Lisa. Let the left hand touch down to the floor now. Right arm to the sky. Good. Deep breath. And then stay in the twist. Drop your back knee down to the floor. Good. And I know it's early in the practice, but optional here is to bend that back knee, kick your heel, and reach back for the foot or the ankle. Don't do it if it's going to make you crazy. Good. Deep breath, open chest. Yeah, see, Sara did it and it made her crazy. Good. Slowly release, please, back to the twist. So release that foot. Tuck your back toes, lift the back knee back up so your left hand is on the floor. There you go. Yeah, you are reversing everything though. So you're coming back to that high lunge in the twist. So reach through your right arm, take your shoulders back on top of your hips, right back to where you started. Yep, all the way up. So you're in a standing twist. Yep, arms off the floor, back to that high lunge twist. You got it. And then right hand reaches for your back thigh, left arm reaches to the sky. Little twisting back bend. Awesome. And then back to center, arms up alongside the ears, untwist everything. Good. And release the hands down to the floor. Your legs are like, that was too much lunge. Take the right leg up and back, down dog split. I know you weren't prepared for that. Good. Release that foot down to the floor, please. Drop down to your knees. Take a child's pose. Yeah. When teaching yoga, we think about what poses warm up the body, and we then generally progress to things that are more complicated or more challenging because, the body's warmed up, it's prepared. But if you are really paying attention to what's going on moment to moment, is that you can come into any pose almost right away. And you don't have to do the full expression of it, but you can be aware. Maybe not fully prepared, but you can be aware. So that's what we're asked to do in a practice, is to be aware so consistently that even when something happens and you're not prepared, you're like, this is not comfortable, but you're okay. Come back up to hands and knees, downward facing dog. So I don't mind that you have to focus a little bit on how to hold the lunge while your upper body's doing a bunch of other crazy things. Left foot steps forward between the hands, lunge. Inhale, both arms to the sky, high lunge. Good, you gotta widen that front knee just a little bit because it has a tendency to fall in. So you push it slightly wide and you draw your left butt cheek back and in towards the center line of your mat. Good, now take your arms out to letter T and twist to your, what direction is that? Left. Good. And then lean forward. So you're stretching through the right side body, like you're going to come parallel to the floor with that side ribs. Good. Pull your hips back as you're leaning your chest forward. You got it. You can go for it a little more, Sydney. That's it. Nice, you guys. And then let that right hand touch down, left arm to the sky. Nice, Melanie. Nice, Kristen. Beautiful. Stay in the twist. Drop your back knee down to the floor. And again, very optional. Bend that back knee, kick your heel, and reach back for the foot or the ankle. Might not feel accessible yet. So if it doesn't, just stay where you are. Good. Open chest, open throat. Beautiful, you guys. And then release the foot, please. Stretch the left arm back up to the sky. Good. So you're still in the twist. Lift your back knee up off the floor. Good. So you're just reversing the whole progression. And then bring your torso all the way back up into the standing version of the twist. So reach through that left arm. Good. Arms are still out wide, but your shoulders are on top of your hips. Good. And then left hand is reaching for your back thigh. If you can't find the thigh, that's fine. Bring the hand to your lower back or to your hip. Reach the right arm up. Good. Stretch through that side body from your fingertips all the way down that long line of your ribs to the back heel. Awesome. And then unwind everything, both arms up to the sky, and then release the hands down to the floor. Good. Take your left leg up and back behind you, down dog split. Beautiful. And then take that foot down to the floor, downward facing dog, and then drop down to the knees, child's pose. Good, you guys. Walk the torso to the right, please, over the right thigh. Good. Breathing into the side ribs. Walk yourself back to center, please. Go the other direction, over the left thigh. Been very much in the mood lately to do side body stretching, opening type of stuff. Because it's not our habit to look at how wide we can be. We look at our life as forward and back, right? Where am I going to? Where did I come from? But we don't feel the wideness of it. And if we don't feel the wideness of it, then it's like the walls are closing in and everything is so narrow. Walk back to center. So that openness on the side body is kind of like being in that state of uncertainty. I don't know where I'm going. I don't even know for sure where I've been. But I'm here, and I'm wide, and I'm huge. I believe in that bigness. Walk yourself back up. Downward facing dog. I believe in what I could be, even if I have no proof that I have been that yet. Still believe. Right leg up and back behind you, down dog split. Bend the knee, kick your heel in towards your butt, stack the right hip on top of your left. The beauty of that, right, is it means that you can say, I can be more compassionate, I can be more loving, I can be more brave, I can be more whatever it is that you've always wanted to be, even if you have no proof, because you believe in your bigness. Good. Point that knee down to the floor, please. Step the right foot between the hands, lunge. Good. And then step your left foot forward just a little bit. Take both legs to straight, Parsvottanasana. Nice. Use blocks underneath the hands if you need. All right. And that consistent belief, right, that doesn't give into the desire to doubt. That's what gives us the ability to stay very open for whatever comes to us. It says, I'm going to use this well. I'm not going to turn away from it because I've already decided that I can't be that, or I won't be that, or, you know, that option's not open to me. Good. Start to walk yourself to your right, please. So you're going to turn your toes any amount towards the right. So as you walk your torso to the right, turn your toes a little bit. Good. And you'll know when you need to stop, right? Because I want your hips to still be drawing back, your legs to be straight, but you're just giving a little bit more stretch on those outer thighs. So Kira, turn your toes towards the long edge of your mat. Yeah, rotate your feet. There you go. Back foot too. There you go. But try to keep the feet flat on the floor. Yeah, so you should feel a little bit more stretch on the outer legs when you do that. Good, you guys. And then walk yourself all the way back towards center, please, turning the toes forward. Nice job. Good. Bend the right knee, please. Walk your fingertips straight ahead, step up, standing split. Good. Nice. And then bend your left knee. That's the leg that's in the air. Good. Kick the heel in, stack the left hip on top of the right. Nice. Right hand stays on the floor or a block. Take your left arm up to the sky. Ardha Chandrasana variation. Good. Maybe you reach back for the foot or the ankle. Maybe you keep that arm in the air and don't worry about it. Good. Stay really present with your standing leg. So the goal is not, can I definitely reach my foot, but can I transition in this unstable or unsteady place, uncertain place? Good. Release the foot all the way back out. Nice. Release the left hand to the floor. Transition back to standing split. Turn your toes down. Awesome. And then step all the way back to a nice long lunge. Drop the back knee. Use a blanket there if you'd like. Anjaneyasana. Inhale the arms to the sky. Good. Hands to heart center, please. Prayer twist. Left elbow to the outside of that right knee. You could also place the forearm there. If the full prayer twist feels like it's not accessible, then you can bring the left forearm onto that thigh and right arm over the ear. Good. If you're in that full prayer twist, you're pushing your inner thighs wide and you're lifting your side ribs up off of your thigh. Beautiful, you guys. Nice, Susan. And then come back to center, please. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Awesome. And release the hands down to the floor. Good. Lift the back knee up. Step your left foot forward just a little bit. Take both legs back to straight, Parsvottanasana. Good. Bring your hands to your hips. Come all the way up to stand. Good. Don't change the legs, but reach behind you. Interlace your fingers at the low spine. Good. Armpits go nice and high. So you're stretching through the side body. So you're lifting your hip points, tilting them slightly forward and up. Good. Sending your back thigh back and away. So you've got that steadiness of the back leg holding you. And then start to bow forward with the legs straight, taking the arms up and overhead any amount. Good. You got to keep pulling back through your thighs. Keep pulling back through your hips. Good. Keep that back leg on the ground, Susan. So just, my God. There you go. Suddenly forgot the name of the pose. Parsvottanasana. Beautiful, you guys. And then release the hands down to the floor. Awesome. Step back to downward facing dog. Good. Vinyasa, if you'd like here, that means coming forward to plank, lowering down to your belly. Good. Or child's pose if you prefer. Lots of variations of what a vinyasa can look like. Good. Moving through cobra, coming back to downward facing dog. If you're in child's pose, meet us back in down dog. Awesome. And then left leg comes up and back behind you, down dog split. Bend the knee, kick your heel in towards your butt, stack the left hip on top of the right. Good. So I asked you in the beginning of class to make a wish instead of setting an intention, because when you have a wish, it's going to come from a place of real desire, something that would excite you, something that would inspire you, something that lights you up. We have an intention, then sometimes that's just, I'm responsible for trying to do that justice. Easy to be disappointed in yourself. Bring that knee facing the floor, please. Step your left foot between the hands, lunge. Good. Right foot steps forward just a little bit. Take both legs to straight, Parsvottanasana. Use blocks under the hands if you'd like. Good. And it's one of my personal goals to not be disappointed in myself as often as I am. So I'm forcing that on you. Stop being disappointed in yourself. Or at least look for the reasons why that disappointment happens. And sometimes it literally is that we narrow ourselves so much thinking that I have to accomplish this, or I have to meet those expectations. I have to live up to this standard that I set for myself. I have to live up to it, and it's hard. I'm not prepared. So instead, can you make a wish? Something that excites you. And then do your best, but whatever happens, if it's not exactly as you expected, you can still be so happy in the results because you did your best. But if we start out disappointed, it's impossible to give our best, to do our best, because we've already taken that away from ourselves. So make lots of wishes these days, not intentions, not resolutions. Excite yourself. Start to walk to your left, please, turning the toes, both sets of toes. And again, you don't have to turn them all the way to the side. It can be just a little bit because you want your feet to still be flat to the floor. And you want your legs to be nice and straight. You're pulling your hips back and wide. Good, but it gives you a little bit of a different stretch on the outer thighs. That's what you're looking for. Good. Yeah, breathe into it. Nice, you guys. And then start to walk back towards the top of your mat. Unwind the feet so everything is facing forward again. Beautiful. And then bend your front knee, walk your fingertips straight ahead, step up, standing split. Good. Bend the right knee, that's the leg in the air. Take your heel in towards your butt. Stack the right hip on top of the left. And then left hand stays on the floor or a block. Right arm comes to the sky. So Ardha Chandrasana variation. And again, maybe this is plenty and you're happy here, just lifting through that inner thigh, opening the hip, opening the chest. If you want to, reach back for the foot or the ankle. Good, nice, and draw that right knee back in space a little more. Good, Sydney, nice, Melanie. Good, Anju, you got it. Awesome, you guys. And then extend all the way back out. Release the foot if you're holding it. Take that right hand back down to the floor. Good, turn your pelvis back down to the floor, back to standing split. Nice. And then step all the way back to a nice long lunge. Drop the back knee. Use a blanket underneath if you'd like. Anjaneyasana. Inhale the arms to the sky. Good. Laura, just push a little wider into your left hip. So move your inner thighs away from you. That's it. Yeah. You don't want that right hip to push out so far to the side. Good. Hands to heart center, please. Prayer twist. Right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Good, and move that knee wide into the elbow and the elbow into the knee. Awesome, and again, forearm can be on the thigh instead of the elbow hooked if having the elbow hooked doesn't work. Throat back. Nice, you guys. Good, come all the way back to center, arms to the sky, inhale. Beautiful, release the hands down to the floor. Good, lift the back knee, please. Step your right foot forward just a little bit. Take both legs to straight. Come back to Parsvottanasana. Good. Then bring your hands to your hips and come all the way up to stand. Good. Reset your feet if you need to. So if coming up to stand felt very unstable, maybe step your back foot, your right foot wider to the right so that you can really turn your pelvis to face forward, stabilize yourself. And then reach behind you, hold opposite elbow, not hold opposite elbows, interlace your fingers, sorry. That's my preference. If that doesn't work for you, hold opposite elbows. But if you can, interlace your fingers. Good. And then start to send your hips back in space, bow forward, long spine, stretching the arms up and over any amount. Watch the moment where your pelvis wants to shift to the side. So keep that outer right hip spinning forward, lift your left low belly. And again, is it going to be perfect? Probably not. Is it going to be absolutely level? Probably not. But do your best. And then be so happy with the results because you did your best. Good. And then release the hands down to the floor. Really nice, you guys. Bend that front knee, step back, downward facing dog. Good. Slide forward to plank pose, upward push-up. Drop your right knee down to the floor underneath your hip. Turn your left heel flat to the floor. Good. Take your left arm up to the sky. Nice. And then lean towards that right hand a little bit more. Float your left leg up off the floor. So again, that Ardha Chandrasana variation. Make little circles. Draw little circles with your foot. Yeah. Say hi to your inner thigh and your hip and your butt. Good. Don't pop your ribs out. Keep a nice straight leg though, Mark. Don't just let the foot flop around. Good. And then pause and hold. Lift that inner thigh higher. That's it. And then bend the knee, kick your heel back, reach back for the foot or the ankle. Maybe. Good. Open ribs. Nice, Molly. Nice, Anne. And then extend all the way back out. Good, Joanne. And then release back to hands and knees, please. Good. Do a little cat and cow. It's the truth that you will never be fully prepared for your life. You can't be. To be fully prepared for what's coming next would mean that you would have to know what's coming next and you would have to work backwards to be able to be sure of how you wanted to respond to that moment that hasn't occurred so that you can do it, quote, right for how you think it should go. So we can't be prepared, but we can be aware. And that awareness is what sets the stage for you to be open for your life as it unfolds. And then you do the best that you can and be so happy with the results because you did the best that you could. Come back to center, please. Pause. Good. And then step back to plank pose. Good. So why plank first? Because I want you to have this lift of your ribs and the lift of your inner thighs, the length of your spine. Good. And then bring the left knee down to the floor underneath your hip. Good. Take the right heel flat. Take your right arm to the sky. Awesome. And then lean forward a little bit more towards that left shoulder or that left wrist, and then float the right leg up parallel to the floor. Good. And then draw little circles with your foot. So the whole leg is doing these little circles. So it's one whole action and they're little. Good. Nice. Keep your upper body as stable as you can. Good. And then pause and stay. Lift that inner thigh. Nice. And then bend the knee, kick your heel back towards your butt, reach back for the foot or the ankle if you'd like, or stay where you are. Good. Keep your weight distributed through that left shin. Good. And then extend the leg all the way back out. Nicely done. Come back to hands and knees. Drop back to child's pose, knees wide. You cannot be prepared for what you're going to do. But you can be really open to what you could be and what you could accomplish and what might happen. So that uncertain place where you really believe in your capabilities, you really believe in yourself. That's how you are always successful. right? Everything in yoga is we're always saying jai, victory. How do you stay victorious? Is you don't refer to yourself in your own world as a failure. You don't refer to yourself as something less than you believe and what you can be. If you only gave yourself permission to be. Walk yourself back up. Good, downward facing dog. Good. Start to walk your feet forward towards your hands, one step at a time so that you can actually feel your legs moving. You can actually feel what your lower back does to transition. Good. Nice, you guys. And then bend your knees, please. Take your arms up alongside your ears, chair pose. Good, bringing your weight onto your right foot. Hover your left foot up off the floor and don't let your hips push out to the side. I know. Yeah, you weren't prepared for that. Good. Place that foot down to the floor. Good. Bring your weight into the left foot. Float your right foot up off the floor. Try not to let your hips push out to the side. Keep your butt back. Good, but pull that knee up. And then replace that foot down to the floor. Good, come all the way up to stand. Nice job. And then pull the right knee up and towards your chest. Good, now that your glutes are awake a little bit. Bring that right knee wide to the right. Bottom of the foot comes to the inside of the left leg. Good. And then taking the arms up to the sky. Nice, you can keep the arms just lifted or you can interlace the fingers, pointer fingers to the sky, Kali Mudra if you'd like. Good, but you're pulling long through the sides of your waist, pulling long through the sides of your body. Good, don't let the hips push out to the side. One more breath, keep reaching. Nice, and then swing that right knee forward, please. Keep the arms overhead, and then start to take the right leg back behind you to warrior three. Take your torso forward and reach. You got it, Kira. Go ahead, turn those toes down towards the floor more, Harriet. Nice, and now not fun at all, but bring yourself all the way back up and bring your knee forward and up and towards your chest. What? I don't want to. There you go. And then step that foot down to the floor. Beautiful. Separate your feet as wide as your mat. Turn your toes out. Come down, squat. Good. Gives your legs something else to think about, right? Instead of narrow, I've got to hold myself narrow and steady. Can I go wide and be very steady there? Good. Right hand touches down, left arm to the sky. Open, open, open. And then release and switch. Left arm comes down inside left knee, right arm up. Good. And then release that hand, both arms up to the sky. Yeah, let your legs hold you. Nice. Some of you always look so happy. I like looking at you when you're smiling. Release the hands down to the floor. Good. Some of you look a little serious when you're practicing. Take your legs back to straight. I like looking at you too when you're serious. It's okay. Heel toe your feet a little closer. Bring your hands to your hips. Come all the way up to stand. Good. Bring your left knee up and towards your chest. Nice. And then take that knee wide. Bring the bottom of the foot to the inside of the right leg. Good. And then arms up to the sky. Beautiful. That open, receptive place is sometimes that gets interwoven with words like contentment. It gets interwoven with words like surrender, Ishvara Pranadhan. It gets interwoven with a lot of other concepts that stem from being in a really open, receptive place. And part of that is that you start to become naturally very happy, or seem to be happy, seem to be pleasant, seem to be joyful in a way that is unexplainable. And wouldn't that be great, is not to be able to point at the reasons why you're happy about your life, but to say, I'm just happy, or I'm just joyful, I'm just content, I'm just pleased to be here. Wherever you're at, stay with the arms. Bring your knee forward, please. Good. And then start to send that left leg back behind you. Bring your torso forward, parallel to the floor. Good. You start to exude that pleasantness. So that's the sign of an enlightened being, is that they exude that feeling of happiness so that it actually lifts the mood of others, not through trying, but just by being. Come all the way back up now. Nice job. Bring that knee all the way back up and towards your chest. Oh, good, Anne, you got it. Good, Lisa. And then release that foot to the floor. Awesome job, you guys. Separate the feet nice and wide. Turn the toes out, drop back to squat. Good. Do you like the second squat better than the first one? Yeah, a little bit. Good, you guys. Stretch the arms up to the sky. Yeah, long side bodies. Good, Lauren, you got it. Beautiful. Release the hands down to the floor, please. Come down to sit gracefully. Close enough. That was almost graceful, Molly. Send the right leg forward in front of you, straight leg. Good. Bend your left knee in towards your chest. So right leg is extended. Bring your left knee in. Cross the left foot over your right thigh. And then either stay here or bend your right knee as well and curl your heel towards your left butt cheek. So half Lord of the Fishes, if you know that twist. Right arm either hooks around the left leg or the elbow hooks like a prayer twist. And then left hand comes back behind you. Good. So you're twisting to your left. There you go, Joanne. Nice. Keep your belly lifting towards your thigh so your spine stays really long, and drop your left butt cheek down towards the floor. Good. And then release the torso. Keep the legs as they are. Take both hands to the outside of your right hip so you come into the counter twist, or just the twist to the other side. So you're looking to your right, but dropping that left sit bone down. Good. And then come back to center, please. Right, reach for that left shin. So lift it up towards your chest. So you're gonna like baby cradle it. And if you need to extend your right leg out straight in front of you for balance, do that. If you can keep the knee bent, you can keep it bent, it's fine. But lift that left shin up, baby cradle. So you're holding the foot in your right hand, knee in your left hand. I know you can't see me, but I'm doing it with you. And just move from side to side. Good. Warming up the hip a little bit. And then pause that, hand your foot into your left hand. So your left hand is holding the baby toe side of your foot. Draw that knee nice and wide, and then extend the leg out to the side. Right arm reaches out to the right. Lean forward towards the front edge of your pelvis. So you're not leaning back on your butt. You're leaning forward. Long spine, pull up. Good. Nice, you guys. One more breath, wide open chest. Good, and then bend that knee back in towards your chest, please. Squeeze it in. Beautiful. And then unwind your legs, please. Stretch the left leg out in front of you. The left leg is going to stay out in front of you. Bring the right knee in. Cross it over your left thigh. Good. And then again, you can stay here with the leg extended or bend the left knee as well, curling it towards your right sit bone. You should still have both sit bones on the floor, though. You're not sitting on your heel. Good. And then you're twisting to the right. Left elbow either hooks on the outside of that knee, or you're using the arm to hug the knee in. So you're using the inner elbow. Good. Both sit bones on the ground. Chest wide, throat back. Nice, you guys. Make wishes for what's coming into your world. Make wishes for what you want to see, what you're excited to see, because that will draw you to it. Our excitement draws us to things. Our resentment pushes us away from things. So when you resent yourself, whatever you're trying to accomplish will seem far away. Unwind your torso, take the twist to the other side. Don't change the legs, so both hands to the outside of the left hip. Keep both sit bones on the floor. So we work with the places where we become disappointed and why. Because it doesn't help us get the work of our life done. It just makes us miserable while we continue to attempt to achieve something that maybe has nothing to do with what we want. Come on back to center, please. Again, reach for that right shin. So you're lifting the right shin up towards your chest. Left hand holds the foot, right hand holds the knee. Baby cradle, rock from side to side. If you need to extend that left leg straight out in front of you for balance, do that. Good. Nice, you guys. And then come to stillness, hand that foot into your right hand. So your right hand is holding the baby toe side of the foot. Draw the knee back and wide. Then extend the right leg out to the right. Left arm extends out to the left. Good. Again, you're leaning slightly forward. So you're rolling towards the front edge of your sit bones. Good. Yeah, bonus points if you're doing this with a dog attacking you. Nice, you guys. One more breath. And then slowly release, pull that knee back in towards your chest. Good job. Take both feet out in front of you. Come into Baddha Konasana, bottoms of the feet together, knees wide. Good. Sitting nice and tall. Take your fingertips back behind your hips just for a second. So with your fingers back behind you, push into your hands, lift your chest more. And then press your groins down. Press your butt down as you push into your hands to lift your chest. Good, and then keep your hands there. Start to lean forward. Take your forward fold with your hands behind you. Continuing to push your butt back and down. Good, you can press into the baby toes of your feet. Keep the legs active. And then when you've come as far forward as you think you can with your hands behind you, go ahead and stretch the arms in front of you. Walk out a little further. Good, and then let the hands touch down to the floor if they're not. Nice, you guys. Then give a little squeeze of your knees up towards your side ribs, and then release it. Stay in the forward fold. Squeeze your knees up towards your side ribs, and then release it. Good, and one more time, squeeze the knees in towards your side ribs, and release it. Awesome. Walk your hands all the way back up. Good, cross your ankles, roll forward to hands and knees, downward facing dog. Good. Right leg comes up and back behind you, down dog split. Beautiful. Bring that knee forward and wide, pigeon pose. Right knee towards the right wrist. Slide the left leg back. Good. And after you've set your pelvis, so you've turned that left hip slightly forward, that's the back hip spinning forward, front hip spinning back. Walk yourself forward onto your forearms, blocks, whatever you need. Good. Being in that open, receptive place of, I'm not sure. I have no idea what's coming. So I'm not sure I'm prepared. But I've done the best that I can. If I've done the best that I can, be so happy with the results. Be very open to what you might be tomorrow, what might come tomorrow. Good. Take one more breath. And then as you walk yourself back up, plant the, sit towards that right thigh, please. Swing your left leg forward in front of you. And again, if you, so let's do it this way. Extend both legs out in front of you. Change my mind. And then draw that left knee in towards your chest. Good, reach for the ankle or behind the thigh with both hands. Good, and you're extend that, you're gonna extend that leg straight forward. So you're holding the left foot, either ankle behind the thigh, extend the leg straight forward. Yep, both hands holding the ankle or the thigh or the foot. You got it. Good, you guys. Lift your chest up a little higher. Yeah, I know. It's not a lot to do here except to just be in it. Good. And then bend that left knee back in towards your chest, please. Good job. Good. Let that left knee fall open, please. So bottom of the foot to the inside of the right thigh, and then move your knee back a little wider so you're coming into that sort of half straddle. Slide your right hand towards your right heel. Good. Turn your ribs open to the left. Take your left arm up over the ear. Pressing down through your left sit bone. I have to say, too many of you guys your windows are too exciting. There's things going on. It's distracting me. I just want to watch the things going on in your life. Good. Throat back. Nice. One more breath, you guys. Rotate that left rib cage open. Nice, Harriet. Nice, Joanne. And then come all the way back up. Awesome. Good. And then send that left leg forward in front of you. Actually, just bend both knees. Do that because we're going to come back to pigeon on the second side. So bend both knees, roll forward to hands and knees. Doesn't have to be graceful. Downward facing dog. How about that? You don't have to be graceful. Left leg up and back behind you, down dog split. Good. Bring that knee forward and wide for pigeon. You don't have to be graceful. You just have to be aware of yourself. There you go. Then set the pelvis, left hip spin slightly back as the right hip spins slightly forward. Good. And then begin to walk yourself forward into your forward fold, resting on the forearms. Nice. So Kira, if being in pigeon, so having being on the shin doesn't work. So your left shin should be on the floor, crossing the mat. If that doesn't work for you, you can do the same stretch on your back, left ankle stacked over right. Right now you're in a lunge, it looks like. Yeah, so if you can see what Sarah's doing, she has her shin all the way on the floor. There you go. Good. And again, if that doesn't work, then we'll, keep adjusting it. Good, Kristen. Nice. Staying in a state where you believe that things that you have no proof, it's not in your history of the way things go, but you believe in what's possible. You have no proof in your past behavior that you could be this or do this or accomplish that. Believe. Stay in that open, receptive place. In the moment when it matters, you can be everything. Don't start out being disappointed. Good. One more deep breath where you are. And then walk the hands back up, please. Good. Sit towards that left hip, swing your right leg around in front of you, and then bring both legs out to straight. Good. Left leg's going to stay extended. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. And you're reaching with both hands for the ankle or behind the thigh or the foot, and you're extending that right leg straight forward from the hip. It's a big hamstring stretch. Good. Nice. You might even find it for some of you to easier to bend that knee, bring the knee all the way in, and then really reach for the ankle, and then start to extend the leg, and don't worry about it coming to straight. But if you bring it up a little higher and keep the knee bent, you might actually get a little bit more stretch through your back, which is what we're looking for. There you go. Nice, Anju. Good. Yeah, it was cute though, seeing some of you with your foot hovering like an inch off the floor. Good job. Do your best. Good. One more breath, you guys. Lean forward towards the front of your pelvis. Awesome. That's it. Good, Kira. Good, Lisa. And then bring that knee back in towards your chest. Good job. Bottom of the right foot to the inside of your left thigh. Let the knee go wide and then slide that hip a little bit more open. So it's like you're in a half straddle, a little bit more angle. And then walk the left hand towards your left heel. Turn your ribs open. Take the right arm over the ear. Good. I think it's always my joke that if we were told, right, the events that were going to occur in our life, what was going to happen if we did X, Y, and Z, and said like, oh, do you agree to that? Then we'd always say no. We'd say, no, I don't want to go through that. No, I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to do that. That's that feeling of I want to be prepared. I want to be able to manage how I'm going to feel. I don't want there to be things that have to happen in order for me to grow or for me to be in pain so that I can understand something. I don't want that. But being open and receptive to what comes means that you become aware of everything that you are, and you can really be okay. Come all the way back up to center, please. Nice, you guys. Good. Bend both knees, please. We're coming into fire log, so you can face the front of your mat. And you're stacking your right ankle on your left knee. So both knees are bent, right ankle over left knee. So your left ankle will be under your right knee. Shins as close to parallel to the top of your mat as you can, right leg stacked on top of left. And if you can't come ankle to knee, then you're gonna move the legs a little wider so that your right heel can come into your left knee crease. If that still doesn't work, right shin in front of left, right? We just want the hips to have an opportunity to open, flex the feet wherever you're at. Good. You can use props underneath the knee as well if you need to. And then hands can either rest behind you if this feels like it's plenty and you just want to sit, press your seat down as you push into your hands, or forward fold. Forward folding is possible. Good. Keep your feet flexed. Ankles in a nice supported line if you can. Good. Nice, you guys. You made a wish for yourself at the beginning of the practice. Have you dedicated your whole self towards that wish, or have you rerouted some of that energy to being annoyed about whatever pose that you're in, or being frustrated at a joint that's not doing what you want it to do? How much of yourself have you already taken away from that wish and put somewhere else? Just put it back. Do your best and then be so happy with the results. Good. Walk yourself all the way back up, please. Nice. Slowly unwind. Draw that right knee wider to the right. Extend both legs out in front of you. Separate your feet as wide as your mat. And then reach for your ankles or your shins or your feet, whatever you can comfortably hold. Deep breath in, long spine. And then exhale, bend your elbows. Come deeper into your forward fold. Good. One more breath, send your butt back as you extend through your side ribs. Nice, Harriet. And then slowly release, come all the way back up. Good, bend the knees, you're coming into fire log on the other side. So left ankle on top of right knee, or whatever variation you are coming into. It can be left shin in front of right. Again, use props if you need. Keep the feet flexed. Good. You just place a cat or a dog underneath your knee if there's, if you need to put something there. Good. And then either hands behind you, sitting up tall or forward fold. Yeah. Breathe wide into your back. We're always looking for where is there space to breathe into. So forward folding, twisting, a lot of these positions, of course, restrict how the breath can move, but it doesn't make it so that we can't breathe. It just sends the breath, the sensation into different places. So this is the benefit of being in that open, receptive place, because it means that energy will flow where there's space for it to flow. It's never lost. But if we already reroute it into being fearful or disappointed or unhappy about what we think something might be, could be, or already was, then that's energy that no longer is able to flow, or it can only flow in one direction. So open, receptive uncertainty means energy can just flow. And you won't be prepared for what comes, but you will be aware of yourself as you rise to meet it. And then you do your best and be so happy with the results. Walk yourself back up, please. Good. Slowly unwind. Move that left knee a little wider to the left. Then extend that leg forward, both legs forward. Good. Bring your feet as wide as your mat or wider if you choose. So if you want to go for that full wide-legged straddle, you can go for that, or just keep the heels as wide as your mat. Good. Then walk yourself forward just a little bit. Same thing. Reach for your ankles or your shins. Even if your legs are super wide, reach for your ankles, your feet, your shins. Deep breath in, long arms, long spine. And then exhale, bend your elbows, go deeper, hugging through the upper body. Good. Dig your heels down, especially if your legs are wide, so that you keep that feeling of the legs drawing in. Awesome. And then slowly release, come all the way back up. Nice, you guys. So one last hip opener. Bring your legs back towards the top of your mat, straight forward. Good. So you have an option here to come into half lotus. So you're going to draw your right knee in towards your chest. If you're doing that, you're bringing the right foot over to the very top of your left thigh crease. So it's crossing towards the top of your left thigh crease. And your foot's going to stay snuggled up into that thigh crease, and your right knee is going to drop open wide to the right. Good. The alternative, if you're like, no way, Jose, half lotus is not happening for me, is you're going to bend both knees, cross your right ankle over top of your left with your left foot flat on the floor. So it's like you're doing figure four, but you're doing it sitting up. Does that make sense? So those are your options, either half lotus or, Sarah, can you just show the other one where you bend both knees, feet in front of you? Bend both knees so your feet flat and knees up, and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Right ankle over left. Yeah, there you go. So you're either doing what Sarah's doing or you're doing half lotus. Yeah? Okay. Find your position. If you're in that half lotus position, you got to keep your right toes curled, like you're flexing your foot. So there's activity through your shin. Good. And then either, again, forward fold if that's available. If you're doing the other variation, you can press into your hands, walk your left heel back a little bit more so that you get more sensation through your back and through your hips. You're in that position. Good. Flex your foot a little more, Joanne. Good. I am never fully prepared. And if I had said at the beginning of class, we're going to do lotus, what would your mind have done? Maybe exploded. Maybe done nothing because you're like, I don't know what lotus is. Even worse, I could have said Padmasana and then you would have had no idea what was going on. It's a Sanskrit for lotus. One more breath where you are. You are never prepared, but you can be aware. And then walk yourself back up, please. Slowly release, especially if you have been in half lotus. Draw that right knee wide. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Give them a little shake. Wow. Good. And then set up for the other side, please. So your left knee is coming in. If you're doing half lotus, right leg stays extended. Bring that left foot all the way up to the top of your right thigh crease. You can even hold it there, no problem. And then just let the knee fall open. So you're not pushing the knee open at all. You can place something underneath it if you'd like. Good. Sometimes people like to do this cute little bind where you reach the left hand back behind you and try and hold your big toe of your right foot with the opposite hand. Yeah, there's a lot of cute things you can do. Good. And then forward fold there if you'd like, or stay where you are. The other option is to have the knees bent, feet flat, and do what Sarah's doing, which is the left ankle over the right thigh. Good. Keep your feet awake, especially if you are in half lotus. Nice. If you're doing the other variation, press into your hands, roll towards the front edge of your sit bones, and really work the long length of your spine. The more you lean forward, the more you're going to feel actual sensation stretch on your thighs and on your hips. Keep your feet flexed. Good. If I wait to be fully prepared for my life, I will miss my life. You cannot anticipate what will come your way, nor should you. But make your wishes and put the best of you behind them. And watch how much you give your energy away to being disappointed or being unhappy, simply because that's your habit. Believe that you can be so happy in the results because you gave your best. One more breath where you are. And then slowly release, come all the way back up. Again, moving that left knee wide as you come out of the pose, move slow. Good, stretch your legs straight out in front of you, give them a little shake. And then everybody bend your knees, plant your feet, take your hands back behind you, fingers pointing towards your heels, lift up into reverse table. So you can give a little bend to your elbows first if you'd like, open chest, then lift the hips up off of the floor. Good, press into your heels. So your knees are moving slightly forward as you draw your armpits back. Nice, hug your knees in just a little bit, Melanie, and then send those inner thighs higher. Good, nice Molly, nice Lisa. Good, Anne. Good, Harriet. Nice, Alice. And then release the hips down to the floor. Beautiful, you guys. Scoot forward, come onto your backs. Good. I would love for you to come into plow, not necessarily shoulder stand, just plow, if that's possible. So rolling to bring the legs overhead and letting the feet come to the floor above the crown of your head. So again, I'm not so interested in full shoulder stand. If you want to come there, you're absolutely welcome. But I want you to definitely take a plow pose if you can. Good. So it's like being in a forward fold, but upside down. Nice. And letting there be a heaviness to the legs, but a lightness to your spine. So you're reaching through the length of your spine. But if you're not coming into this position, happy baby. If you're not doing plow, come into happy baby. Good. And do a little rocking side to side on your spine if you're in happy baby. Nice, you guys. If you are in plow and you want to separate your feet a little wider and start to bend your knees, just relax. Good, letting the knees drop alongside your ears. Maybe they're nowhere close to your ears, but you let your knees bend so that you soften through your thighs, you soften through your low back. Good. And then as you're ready, slowly start to straighten the legs, roll down the spine one vertebra at a time, letting the knees bend as your hips come towards the floor. Awesome. If you're in happy baby, bring the knees back together. Everybody place your feet to the floor, hip width apart. Good. Keep your knees over your ankles. Let your arms rest alongside you. Good. We call it constructive rest, but we never leave you here long enough for it to really be constructive rest. For this pose to really do its work, you need to be here for 5, 10, 15 minutes. But rest. Increasing your awareness of yourself. And remember what your greatest wishes for yourself are, the wishes for what you want to come into your life. And put your whole self behind that. The real belief that you don't have to know how or why or in what way it will come about. And if you put your whole self behind it, some version of your wish will be drawn to you. And if you've done your best, be so happy with the results. Because what matters is that you discovered what was the best of you, or what you think was the best of you. Then you stay in that open space to say, tomorrow the best of me may be bigger. And you get to keep discovering the best of you. Nice, you guys. Draw your right knee in towards your chest. Extend your left leg straight down to the floor. Come into spinal twist, taking the right knee over to the left side of your body. Optional here is to bend your left knee. That's the leg that's extended. Curl that heel towards your butt and reach back for the foot or the ankle. So if you want to take that quad stretch with the other leg, you can. Good. Dropping the right shoulder back towards the floor. Good. And then slowly release that. Come all the way back to center, unwinding. Go to the other side, please. Right leg extends out. Left knee comes in towards your chest. Come into the twist, bringing that knee over to the right. And the option is to bend your right knee, the leg that's extended, curl the heel towards your butt, reach back for the foot or the ankle. And breathe through your side ribs, side body, the wideness of you. Nice. Slowly release. Come back to center, please. Cross the right thigh over top of your left. Stacking the knees, separate your feet, reach for the ankles or the shins. Flexing the feet. It's just for a breath so that you can feel the opposite rotation. You did a lot of open, hip opening, external rotation. This is internal. Good. And then release and switch. Take the other leg on top. So Joanne, if you can, have knee over knee so that the thighs are touching. There you go. And then reach for your feet, your ankles. Good. And then slowly release again, hugging the knees in towards the chest, forehead up to meet your knees. And then unwind, releasing, consciously releasing everything that does not need to come with you into Shavasana. Extend the legs out in front of you. Arms alongside you, palms up. And breathe wide. Breathe as wide as you can. Very gently bring the awareness back to your breath, letting the body begin to stretch and move in any ways that serve it well. And as you're ready, draw your knees in towards the chest, roll to your right side. And take a moment before you begin to push the floor away, come back to an upright seated position. Hands coming to rest at the heart, palm to palm. And remember the wish that you made for yourself. And don't be afraid to amend it, add to it. Have a list 10,000 miles long of the wishes that you have. We have to hold that space in us where we believe in what is unseen and has not yet appeared and what we don't yet know about ourselves. And being in that space of uncertainty and knowing that we don't have to be fearful of what isn't, but we can be in that state of openness to what might be, because it means that you can always be bigger, braver, more loving, more compassionate. You never lose anything and you don't ever have to be disappointed. So you give the best of you to your dreams and your wishes and the things that you truly want to see, and then be so happy with the results, even if it's not at all what you expected, because you gave the best of you. So this is what we practice, is finding the best in you and then believing, knowing that there's always more. So find out what you still believe in. And if you've lost track of it, make a new list and start believing in yourself again. Close the sound of Om, deep breath in. Sliding the thumbs up to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. Happy holidays.